No. No. Nope. I need 30 more seconds. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. I'm just waiting for a prompt from my producer. And so we'll be getting started here in just a minute, just waiting for a prompt to get going. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I am your host, and I'm so happy to be here. I want to let you know that we are live. It is the 6th of October at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. And we're all together. It's nice. I also want to let you know that you can find me in the chat room by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number 1 and number 2radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And that group is where you'll find other people chatting as well. So we definitely want to help you find us. That's you'll see my banner at the top of the page, and that's where a lot of the chatting will be happening. So that's a good place to ask a question. I'm going to give you an opportunity to share your fur babies with me today. So a lot of you guys will come in there and share pictures and things. And as always, come talk to us. I also want to let you know that I am live streaming this event from my fan page on YouTube or on Facebook, Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, as well as my page on YouTube, which is Domestic Mystic on YouTube. So if you'd rather watch than listen, that would be the way to do it. So I'm seeing some of you guys popping up in the chats. Here's the deal. I'm a pretty good multitasker, so I'll keep an eye on all of the chat happening, whether it is in the chat room or it is, on one of the live streams. I'm watching them all, so you guys can put your stuff up in any place you want to if you want to talk to me or ask a question. That's the deal. So I do want you to know it is Animal Communication Day. So I'll take other questions as well, but preference definitely to the animal communication questions. Trying to get back on target. You remember when we used to do animal communication as the first show of the month? Me too. And somehow, some way, we got away from it. I don't even know why, but here we are. And we're going to get back to that. So I'm trying to get us a little more structured for the fall. We'll see how it goes. Is there such a thing? I hope so. Anyway, I don't know. I to be honest, don't usually thrive so much on structure, but it's kind of nice for you guys to know what to expect. It's kind of nice for me too, actually. It's easier to plan shows when you know. Alrighty, so just taking a quick peek at the chat room here. I want to welcome everybody. Oh my goodness. We had such an awesome weekend, such a great opportunity to get away and have our last camping trip of the season. It's just our weather is going to go south on us here really soon. And it's already, it's freezing pretty good at night and it's all beautiful and warm during the day and getting chilly at night. So that's where we're headed. But we camped in a place called Kelly Canyon, which is not too far from my house, but kind of an interesting mix of down on the Snake River and then at the base of some mountains there. So I'm going to share a few pictures in the chat room and a video so that you guys can see. where I've been and what I've been doing. But it's really good. Just beautiful weather, really nice to be out. So I hope that you guys are having a similar experience. I know not all of you get the seasons the way we do where I live. Some of you guys live in more, normal climates. Well, I mean, what's normal? Some of you live in more temperate climates where you don't get all of this mayhem. I get it. So, anyhow, that's what's new with me, I guess. It's I have such fun stuff to talk to you guys about today actually, but because Christy and I are going on our first cemetery tour. So I've probably talked about this already. I'm trying to share in both chat rooms here, and I mean, I'm a good multitasker, but come on, man. Nope, I can't do it. Okay. Well, as most of you know, Christy, my sister, and I have a podcast, and our podcast and YouTube channel is True Crime Paranormal. And we are so excited because we are getting ready to go on our first tour, our first cemetery tour. So it's not a tour where we're going to be working with others, it's just a tour where we're going to be visiting some really cool old cemeteries here in Idaho. And we'll be both live streaming and making videos so that you guys can come join us. So we're headed to the Salmon Chalice area, and we're going to be, take that opportunity to be able to. I can't share a link in the chat room. Weird. All right. Anyway, we're going to be checking out all of those cool places. So we'll go to the cemetery, we'll do a live stream and give you guys a tour of it because there's just so many cool things to see. And then we'll find some specific graves that we want to tell you the stories of the people that are buried there. So that's what we're doing. I've talked about this a lot of times, but my mom was a cemetery weirdo. Every cool town or any town we went to, she always wanted to explore the cemeteries. And so I grew up doing that and have been to some pretty awesome cemeteries. And we're just excited to get to share that with you guys and let you be a part of it. So that's what we're doing. So there's a few ways that you want to stay connected if you would like to be a part of the cemetery tour and get to play with us this weekend. One way is to follow us over on YouTube, and that's True Crime Paranormal. Follow our channel so that when we have a live stream going, you hopefully will get a notification. The other thing to do is to follow our Facebook page, which is also True Crime Paranormal. So you want to follow both, and you'll see us posting various things throughout the weekend. And that's the way to kind of keep up with what we have going on. So we're super excited. There is one of the cemeteries we're going to is a Boot Hill Cemetery. And so I learned something in doing this research. Some of you guys probably already know this. I did not. That I thought a Boot Hill Cemetery, or, in essence, Boot Hill Cemetery was a certain place. Like there's a big Boot Hill Cemetery in Arizona. I didn't know that Boot Hill cemeteries that just means that you died with your boots on. So there's Boot Hill cemeteries all over the West and probably the East too, but a lot of Boot Hill cemeteries are associated with kind of the Wild West routine, So that's what a Boot Hill cemetery is. So we're going to a Boot Hill cemetery where there's only 3 people buried, and all 3 of them died by murder. Because true crime and all. Anyway, I'm just way, way, way excited. So I hope that you guys, now hopefully the service will be good enough up there to do live streams. We are on a prayer, hoping it will be. We'll see, but it's going to be fun. So one way or another, we'll either share when we get back to our hotel or we'll live stream, probably a combo of both. But pay attention to that, and we'll try and get our schedule or our itinerary rolled out a little later this week on our Facebook page at True Crime Paranormal. So that's what's going on. Anyway, wanted to share a couple of things with you. Of course, I promised last week that I would get some of the stuff I've been working on into my Etsy store. I know some of you guys have been really wanting to see that and maybe order some things. So I did. I'm going to put a link in the main chat room. But if you want to find my Etsy store, it's Joyful Goddess Designs on Etsy. Just Joyful Goddess Designs. So that's how to find it. And I would love for you to come and check out what I have going on over there. But I am going to share. So I did finally get my keychains posted. Yay. You guys have already ordered a few of them, actually, but there's several things posted there that you guys have been watching for. So definitely go check it out. And if I can help you with anything over there, let me know. And then the oil of the week, I wanted to share with you an oil from Jade Bloom. You guys know I am passionate about Jade Bloom oils, and I'm an affiliate with them. And I'm trying to share an oil with you every week that I think is awesome. So this is the Harmony Hormone Blend. I absolutely love this. There used to be a blend like this over at doTERRA that I loved. It smells different depending on who's wearing it because it interacts with the hormones of your body and takes on the smell of, its smell based on you. And it's a really good blend for attracting love. It's a really good blend for helping to balance yourself. I mean, harmony, obviously, but it's a great balance blend. So I put a link for it in the chat room, but I absolutely love it. I wear mine all the time. So it's a blend of fennel, clary sage, marjoram, lavender, blue yarrow, and jasmine. And man, do I love it. So it's great for stabilizing your mood. It's great for hormonal fluctuations. And again, it just smells pretty amazing. Other people like it for bloating, mood swings, hair loss, infertility, brain fog, low sex drive, irregular periods, acne, trouble sleeping, and so much more. Anyhow, I absolutely love the way it smells. And I love the way it changes its smell based on my chemistry. So that's one of my favorite things about it, actually. So I did put a link in the chat room if you're interested in that. You guys can go and check it out. But that's one of the ones I've been thinking about. All righty. I feel like my phone is vibrating, and I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's bothering me. There we go. You probably can't, but I get bothered. All righty. Well, let's take a look at Luminous magazine. I'm going to put a link to that blend in the chat room. There you go. So Luminous did something really weird, and I don't know if it happened for you guys, but I can't open it. Once I emailed it out, the link says that it has a privacy or a security issue. So I'm not sure if that's everyone's experience. This all happened like 20 minutes before the show, so I haven't had a chance to do much of an investigation. But I will. But in the meantime, we can look at Luminous right on my website. So I'm going to share a link with you for that. And then let's take a look together. So you guys, most of you know that I publish a magazine every week with work from myself and my colleagues over at One Two Listen. And I am always excited to share it with you guys because everybody works super hard on it. And there's a lot of really great articles. But for some reason, my tech skills are ridiculous today. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just sharing the same link over and over again. Sorry, you guys. Okay. I'm finding it. Anyway, if you would like to see it, head over to katie-weaver.com and you'll see a button there for the Katie's magazine or for Luminous magazine. Just click on that And then there's an option there. It looks like four arrows, going in every which direction. That's what you click on to bring it to a full screen. Because I know if you're just looking at it, there's no way you can read those articles. It's way too small, but that's how you get it to a full screen. So that's where I'm going to go to look since I don't know what the hell's going on with that link, but we'll figure it out. All righty. Well, it is October, which just makes me so stupidly happy because now I can justify doing some kind of Halloweeny kind of cover every single week. So rest assured, you have been warned. This one has a raven on it, and I love it so much. All righty. I called the magazine this week the You Do You edition because I feel like this is one of those weeks where we've got to be pretty independent. You're going to have to really stand strong in your own convictions. You're going to probably have to use your voice and stand up for yourself and maybe others. And you're going to have to try to take good care of yourself and move forward with confidence. It's another bumpy week. I wish I could say otherwise, but I will say the energy is really fast this week. You might already feel like you're running behind or you're not getting as much accomplished as you would like to. You are not alone. That's a theme this week. So with that being said, you got to be sure that you're multitasking well. You've got to make sure that you're prioritizing well and not procrastinating. That's my biggest issue. I have to really buckle down on myself because I can procrastinate with the best of them. So I have to discipline myself really well. I'm having this conversation last night with one of my college kids, with my son going, you have got to stay 100% on top of all of your obligations, because he's, of course, telling me everything he has to do this week. And I'm like, man, you don't have any time to mess around, And I feel the same way with me sometimes. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Frankly, I think we all could use a little more time to mess around. But this week, be very, very careful with your time. All right. My musings is what I already talked to you about Christy and I's tour. So all that info is already there for you. All right. Bitch Scopes from the Desk of Bitch from Kelly McLean. She says, well, wasn't last week just a hoot? And she said, no, it was a shit show. Yes, it pretty much was. But she talks a lot about what's going on this week in the stars, what we can expect, and then, of course, our collective scopes. So I believe it's still Libra's birthday. So let's go ahead and look at Libra's scope this week. She says, surprises are afoot for you. Stay grounded and present while things unfold. It could simply be an epiphany that you have had or a surprising opportunity that presents itself, somewhat upending the plans you already made. After some mild confusion, you'll be in a better spot than you are now. That seems to be kind of a theme for a lot of us. And maybe I just feel that way because I have so much Libra in my chart, but there we go. I was teasing Scott yesterday on 1-2 News and said that we are getting frighteningly near Scorpio season. Dear God. I love my Scorpios. I'm not. Don't let me give you too much crap. It's just that I live with 2 Scorpios. And now they're all that's left because the other kids have all moved on, So I'm surrounded. I need help and prayers. That's how it is. All righty. The tip of the week. You are the star of your own story. Are you the hero or the villain? It's time to stop sabotaging yourself. We all do it. We all do it. Whether it's by wasting time, or it's putting things in our body that isn't good for us, or by spending money that we shouldn't be spending, or by, engaging in relationships or situations that we know aren't going to turn out well, or 1,000 other things, right? We're terrible for sabotaging ourselves. You got to keep an eye on that. It's not just broken people. It's all people. It is human nature, unfortunately. And I don't know why this is, but to sometimes torpedo your own plans. So be careful. Don't do that to you. The world already wants to do that to you from time to time. Don't be a part of it. All right. Caroline's article, Detoxify Your Wardrobe. Some really good advice. And frankly, really called me out because my bedroom is, what's the right word? Hell? Hell of hell. I think that's the right term. My bedroom looks like a secondhand shop blew up in there. There is so many. There's a lot of clothes that need to be done with, gone through, taken care of. And so thank you, Caroline. You were calling me out. You might not know it, but I needed to hear that and I need to do it. What did I say about procrastinating? Christy pulled a card from the Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck. It is the butterfly card. The primary message is transformation, emotions, goals, completion, and development. The challenge is refusing to change, being stagnant or immature. What a great card for this week as the energy is moving fast. There is certainly change afoot for all of us. The crystal is the chrysanthemum stone. The meditation. Dear butterfly, please guide me through my transformation and help me keep my heart open and allow change. We could all use that message, I think, and that support right now. So that's where I will end my little tour of Luminous with you, but I hope you guys have an opportunity to go all the way through it and see whatever it is that you need. And as always, if you see anything in Luminous that you'd like to comment on, send me an email. If you would love to contribute something, we always have a reader's corner. It's not always active because I don't always have something. But if you have a poem or a piece of art or a blog post or something you'd love to contribute to Luminous and have run in a future edition, I would love to do that. So let me know. I would love to do that for you. Okay. Again, I want to remind you that it is Animal Communication Day. Now, we don't have to only do animal communication. So if you have other questions for me, you're welcome to put those in the chat room as well. But we are focusing on animals today once we've gotten through our regular stuff. So just taking a quick peek here at the chat room. Okay. All righty, guys. Seeing some questions and stuff coming up, and we'll definitely get through those. Okay. Ali Shaya said, I love old cemeteries. Reading the epitaphs is very entertaining to me. Me too. I love it. And just feeling the energy of the place, right? There's this cool old cemetery. There's a little tiny town that Mars sometimes plays softball in the summer. And so, of course, I have explored their cemetery a couple of times. How else does one kill time in a town you don't know? You go to the cemetery, obviously. This town has no Starbucks. Did I mention that? Anyway, the town is, they have a geyser. The town is called Soda Springs, and they actually have like a Yellowstone kind of geyser coming up out of the earth, and it's not very big. You can walk all the way through it, but it does spray water every so often, and the cemetery is right next to it. So the weirdest, coolest, kind of hauntingest thing in the cemetery is that a lot of the older graves are totally encrusted in mineral deposits from the spray that comes off of that geyser. And some of the headstones look like somebody must come by every so often and put some kind of an acid or something on them that cleans it up. But some of them haven't. And I mean, they are under, 100 years of all of these mineral deposits, then you can kind of still make out the words and the shape, but that is cool. It's very ethereal. And yeah, I've had to wander that cemetery quite a bit, just looking at those cool old headstones that are covered in all of that, all of the mineral deposits from the geyser. I wonder why they put the cemetery so close to the geyser. I don't know. Is that a weird question? Maybe it's not, or, apparently they thought it was fine. But I wonder in that town how far that spray goes and how much it affects other things there. But the cemetery is just really weird from it. And I love it. Anyway, Corin says she has a question about her pup if there's time. There should be, Corin. Throw your question up right here in this chat room and I'll keep an eye on it. All righty. Okay. So I wanted to drum for you guys today for our sound healing. It feels to me like we're in one of those stages where we really need to work on balance. I think I've already talked about that today, right? And I'm sure some of you guys are resonating with that and some of you aren't. Honestly, I do need it. I'm also seeing in my town. So, I live in this weird town that weirdly is, tiny, but makes national news every so often for the wrong reasons. A few examples, of course, would be the Vallow case recently, where two children were murdered and buried in their stepfather's field and dismembered. And you guys know I've been talking about that case forever. We made national news when President Obama was elected because children on the school buses were singing songs about assassinating the president and ended up with the FBI in town having conversations with kids about how inappropriate and not cool that is. We made national news when I was a kid because two women snuck popcorn into a theater. They bought tickets to a movie. There were two theaters on the same street. One of the theaters had cheaper popcorn. So they went into that theater, bought popcorn, and tried to take it into the other theater. Well, that theater, no big surprise, said, nah, you can't do that. You can't bring food and drink from the outside. Well, those women ended up causing such a scene and such an issue that the police were called, and they ended up having quite the physical altercation with the police and the manager of the movie theater. It actually made national news because they took it national because they took a lot of umbrage at being told what they couldn't do on private property. And that's the kind of stuff this town that gets so much freaking attention for. We're not proud of it. But here's the most recent one. We are making national news because we're number 2 in the nation per capita for COVID. And there's a reason why. Because where I live, the people that live here are very rebellious. They will not be told what to do by anyone, no way, no how. And they refuse to wear a mask. They refuse to follow a mask mandate. They refuse to social distance. This town is carrying on as if there is no pandemic. And we're paying for it with outrageous through the roof COVID numbers. And yeah, so I read yesterday that we're number 2 in the nation per capita. So what does that mean for me with this immune system? Well, it means that I'm not going out much. I wasn't anyway. I've been careful, super careful. We go camping, right? But so I decided this morning, because I did need some things in town, and I decided I have 2 options. I can either go very early in the morning before there are people out and about, or I can go to another town that's being more careful. And just in the out of the time I had this morning, I went ahead and got up early and went to town and did my shopping, and holy cow, how cool that was. In and out of 2 different stores in no time, no waiting in line. It was not people-y out there. It was pretty great. So I'm a little proud of myself for my life choices. Trying to get that balance, right? But anyway, yeah, that's what's happening here. Part of it is that we have a university that is also absolutely refusing to take any responsibility. And a lot of our numbers are based are in the 18 to 29-year-old range. And that's why, because the college is exploding with it. But, those students shop in our stores and hang out in our towns and eat in our restaurants. I mean, it's no different than the rest of the town. But anyway, it's a bit of a mess right now. So this is me at home. Only going to town early in the AM. That's my plan. But yay, yes, national news again, just for being so cool and completely ridiculous. The mayor does a live stream every single day telling us what our current numbers are and literally begging people to take precautions, begging people. I don't know how he is not a drinking man by now. Yesterday we had 78 new cases, which, for larger towns I know isn't a lot. For us that's shocking. And his live stream was just sad. He's trying so hard to work well with people who don't want to have to follow any kind of social norms, but also, try to save us from ourselves because our ICU is more than full, I promise you that. Anyway, what a world. So, go us. Alrighty. Well, as far as balance is concerned, I brought my balance drum. I'm going to drum. All I'm going to ask you guys to do is just relax, breathe, breathe with the beating of the drum, and allow that frequency to help clear out your root chakra and help you to seek balance in all areas of your life. So that's all. You don't have to do anything fancy, just sit with the drum. Now, the drum is kind of interesting because it sometimes in people it brings out kind of a fight or flight sort of response. And that's totally fine if it does. If you can't do it and you need to turn it down, that's fine. But you might try just breathing with it for just a minute and see if you can get through that fight or flight response. Because once you do that, if you can breathe through it, then the frequency of the drum can finally work on you and work for you. So let's get started. This is a balanced drum. It's the yin yang. This drum came to me by way of a dear friend who was studying with Mayan elders in Mexico. And he felt like this drum was supposed to be mine. And so it is. All right, here we go. Okay, so balance it is. I forgot to share with you guys some of my biggest news. Stage 2 of my tattoo got done on Thursday. So I'm going to show you if you're in the live stream, but it looks kind of, well, probably not as terrible to you as it does to me. So it's, of course, it's not done. This is stage 2. So this is a lot of the color coming into it, the sacred geometry. It's super unhealed, so it looks awful. But there's lots of color still like through here that it has to still come in. So some more color and then some more some work here with on the raven. But Anyway, it's coming right along. I'm super excited about it, but it is so itchy and peely and gross right now. But give it a week and it'll be amazing. So, you know, that's how it goes. But I'm so excited to get to that phase. So, one more sitting and it'll be done. So, I've been wanting to do this forever, and here we go. Alrighty, let's jump into the chat room and take a few questions here, see what we can do to help out. Okay. Sorry, guys, got sidetracked. Okay. For some reason, I always get private messages during the show. It's no one's fault. They just, you know, message me about whatever thing they need to talk to me about, and I'm on my show, and it's my own fault for letting myself get distracted. Okay. All right. So Corin says, my dog Stella is a rescue. She ignores all toys except chewing sticks and doesn't know play games. We think she was kept caged all the time at a puppy mill before she was rescued. Oh, Stella. She said she mostly sleeps and or seems bored, and I can't figure out how to get her to play or figure out what she wants to do for mental activity or fun indoors. Any help or insight would be appreciated. We've had her for about 2 years, and we think she's about 7 years old. Half Shih Tzu and half Dachshund, so she's small. Oh, Corin, I bet she's absolutely adorable. Let me tune into Stella through you and see where we go with her. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely true that she never really was allowed to be a puppy, and she doesn't know much about play. But she's not as bored as you think. She is resting. Even though you've had her for 2 years, that seems like a long time, but she is still, I feel like she's still healing from her own trauma. She is the most appreciative, grateful dog. I hope that you do know how much she loves you guys and how grateful she is for the situation that she's in. Her loneliness in her previous life knew no bounds, truly. And so, even though it seems like she's sitting around like bored, she's really just soaking in being with people. She loves that quiet time, just being together. Like that means everything to her. I would continue to play with sticks with her and see if she'll play a little bit more. I would also work on some harness time and just taking her for walks. That might be something that will pique her interest and her curiosity a little bit more. But she's so happy just being indoors near you guys. It's safe, it's comfortable, she's not alone. All of those things are just really like that's the most important thing for her. So I don't want you to think that she is not getting what she needs because she is, you know. It's just this is taking a long time. I don't feel like she's ever a dog that will play very much. Maybe a little bit down the road, we see her get a little bit more playful, but I suspect not. She's pretty somber that way. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But don't think that she's bored or unhappy in her situation. She is not. She's absolutely thrilled with the situation that she's in. So I asked her if there were any of her needs that weren't being met or anything that she would like to change. And there's really not. I mean, she knew a life of isolation and loneliness, and then this life of activity around her and chatter and noise and people that talk to her and love her, and she wouldn't change a thing. So, Corin, don't worry. You are absolutely doing right by this girl. Now, if she starts acting like she wants to play a little bit more, maybe we roll out a few more toys and see. I would look for the really little Petco has them, PetSmart. They're usually like only about this tall, right? They're only like 3 inches tall and they're flat. And they're just toys. Like my dogs had one for a while that was like a Star Wars one. And my really little dogs really like that tiny little toy that they could pack around a little bit. I would try something really little like that and see if it makes any difference. But if sticks is what she wants, let's leave her with sticks. That's great too. So, yeah. Okay, she said, thank you. I just wanted to be sure that's fine and good to know. Now I just have to work on getting her to not growl and trust my husband. Let's talk to her about that. He has a big energy. Like his aura is big, his energy's big. Yeah, it makes her nervous. And yet I feel like she timidly does like him. It's just taking, yeah, there's something about his energy that I think is probably reminiscent of energy she experienced when she was not with you guys. I'm just going to work with her a little bit on realizing or, helping her to feel comfortable with his energy, knowing that he would never, ever hurt her. Your husband feels to me like kind of a gentle giant. And he may not be that big of a guy, but to her, she's itty bitty. So it's a trauma response. When he walks into the room, there is a trigger there related to. So in her old life, this was a person who would reach into her kennel or her crate to care for her that was rough with her. And if she didn't do what she was supposed to, she would get shoved around. Yeah, he was mean with her. So, your husband has done nothing to earn this, but that's what she sees when he comes in the room. So I'm going to see what we can do to help calm that and help her recognize that that is her old life and in her new life, nothing like that's ever going to happen to her again. I wonder if it would help for him to announce himself as he's coming in, or you to announce him if you hear him coming into the room, and also to just continue to remind her, you know. So I'm asking her to recognize that in this current situation, that's never ever going to happen and that she's totally safe. And I feel like we'll continue to grow that relationship with them and it's going to be okay. But it's too bad. I think it hurts his feelings. And again, he doesn't deserve it at all. We know he didn't do anything to earn this. And it really sucks that it's happening. Okay. All right. Arlene said, my son and his wife have three cats. My son's cats are Jada and daughter. Oh, in law cats are Nina. Oh, and Kia. So Nina and Kia do not get along. Any insight with the cats that don't get along? There's a real jostling here for hierarchy. And I feel like that's what's mostly happening. I feel like Nina really is the leader of the pack and that Kia is pushing her. So I want to tune in through you, Arlene, with Kia, I think, and ask her to stand down. Nina doesn't really need to. Nina's already established herself, as the matriarch, and that's her role. I think that Nina's the one, or sorry, Kia's the one who needs to get the message that she needs to knock it off. The hard part is that they none of them are really right the power animal. None of them are really the ones in charge because that would be your son and his wife, right? One of them or both of them. But cats can be real jerks for this. And so I'm going to tune into Kia here through you. All right. So I'm just asking her to stay away from Nina because I think she does just piss her off on purpose as well, just for entertainment. So I'm asking her to just stay away from her for one, and for two, to recognize where her role is. I'd like her to turn her attention much more to your daughter-in-law and more bonding with her, more energy with her, and less interaction with Nina in general. And see if we can just help things to die down and settle down with them. I think that's what we need to see happen so that we can get some peace going in this house. I feel like for your daughter-in-law especially, it's upsetting as hell when they start fighting, when they start, when they're naughty with each other. It really, like, I feel it in her heart, it's getting to her. So we want to see that settle down. It's a funny thing with cats and dogs. With dogs, if I can show them that their behavior is in some way hurting their owner, creating some distress, creating some pain, they will usually stop, like seriously stop. But with cats, they don't care as much. Not that they don't like you all, but like a dog is horrified if they think that what they're doing is hurting the person that they love most in the world. Cats are more like, well, deal with it. you know, not all cats, but a fair amount of them. So, Arlene, hopefully that helps to start settling things down. And I think we just, Nina is in charge. I think we just let her be in charge as much as possible. And we just redirect Kia as much as we can. All right. Jumping into the other chat room here. All right. Laura says that Mika says hi. Can you ask her why she dislikes getting her harness put on? Is there anything I can do to help? Or can you tell her she needs to put it on to take a walk? I wait for her to let me put it on. I don't force it, but she clearly dislikes it. So I love harnesses and I put harnesses on my dogs too. Here's what I feel like they don't like about it. And I'm going to check in with Mika on that, Laura. But dogs have a chakra that we don't have called the brachial chakra. And the brachial is pretty much right between their shoulder blades or just above it. And I feel like when we put harnesses on them, we are kind of up in their space, up in their bubble because you're right up into that brachial chakra. So I'm going to recommend that before you put her harness on, that you put your hands over that brachial chakra and you just bond with her there, put some love into it, and let her know that we are going to put the harness on. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting harnesses on them. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but I can't have anything too close to my throat chakra or it just feels like I'm being, choked or something. I feel like it's a similar response with the brachial. And yet we have to get used to using harnesses because they're safer for walking and things. So I'm going to tune in with Mika on that. But that's a thought that I have about the brachial. I think it's kind of an issue. So let me tune in with her. Okay. See, that's what I thought. It makes her uncomfortable. I feel like once she gets it on and gets out the door, she's fine because she wants to go on her walk. So I'm going to show her that you're going to, respect that brachial chakra and be aware of it while you put the harness on her. But I'm asking her to be to be less weird about it because it's making you feel like you're hurting her or doing something wrong. The alternative I showed her is that she'll have to play in the backyard and won't be going on walks. Yeah, she doesn't want that. She wants her walks. So I'm just asking her to make it easier on you to put that harness on. And she's actually agreeing with me, Laura. So let's think about the brachial and what you can do to help kind of respect that space with her, and also go ahead and help her through it because she does definitely wants to wear it because she wants to walk. Okay. Sid says, would you check in with Elliot? Did he have a mini seizure last night? Please ask him if it is his mouth or his eye that got inflamed after the anesthesia that is slowing down his energy, and feedback on what I'm doing to help him heal. All right, let me tune in with Elliot here. Sid, I think he did have a seizure. I feel like he's having little ones here and there. I really think it's from the health situation that's going on and the fact that he had some infection that was, that's kind of been slow to clear up. The inflammation is from his mouth. There is still some pressure in there, Sid. I would really keep an eye on that. I know it's taken him some time to bounce back and get his energy back. He's appreciating the extra downtime. He says that you've been really careful to not take him out too much or, walk him too much and things. And he's really appreciating that. He is pretty wiped out. I just wonder if there's still some infection going on in there because he just feels so wiped out to me, so drained out. I know you are following up with your vet and taking good care of him, and I'm not worried about that at all, but I feel like, yeah, it's taking him some time to heal. So poor Elliot, darn it. He says what you're doing to help him heal helps, except for hypervigilance. So, like he says, you are, watching him like a hawk and constantly fussing over him. And he would like you to calm down too, because he feels like this whole situation is bringing so much stress on you. And he really doesn't like that. So let's be careful about that, not smothering Elliot. I know. I do the same thing to my dogs. Okay. Pamela says, can you check in with Reese's? This is a kitty. She's a bit off. She will cry once in a while, and it's not like her. Can you take a look, please? I think she's got a bad tooth, Pamela. When I feel her, I immediately have some tooth pain right here, like in the side of my jaw on the right side, though that could be mirrored for her, of course. But I do feel like there's a tooth issue here. That's what's going on. I know she's a super big fan of the vet, but I do think there's a little pain here, a little infection or some, issue going on. Okay, let's see. All right, Carol says, this is my daughter's husky, Leonard. He had a seizure yesterday. What's up with seizures, guys? He had a seizure yesterday. They took him to the vet, but no answers as to why. Could you look at him? Oh, I'm so sorry. He's sure okay today. That really scared him and wiped him out a little bit. Man, he is such a pretty dog. He's a really good dog. Dang it. Carol, I wonder if he's got a seizure disorder that's just showing its head. I would counsel them to keep moving forward on figuring it out. I don't know that it's going to turn into a huge issue right now. I don't think it will, but I'm glad they went straight to the vet, and I would definitely continue with veterinary care for him. Good news today, I don't feel like he's in any pain. I don't feel like he's suffering. That scared him and wiped him out, and it scared those guys. So, of course, it scared him more. I don't feel like this is catastrophic, though. I really don't. But I'm sure sorry that happened. But yeah, I would definitely continue to follow up with veterinary care with him. Okay. Okay. Sharon says one of her doggies is having tummy trouble. I think it's Whitney, but it may be Joey too. What can I do to help? Vet suggested boiled chicken and rice. Rice is one of the fastest ways to bring a dog's tummy back into balance when they're struggling. I would absolutely stick with that. We have a lot of times done baby food, the chicken and rice or turkey and rice baby food for the same reasons. So I think that's good. I think it is Whitney. Joey seems to be fine to me. He's annoying to Whitney, as we know, but it is Whitney's tummy. I feel like she's going to come back into balance, but I would stick with the boiled chicken and rice for a little while, partly because the rice, it helps to kind of start stopping up their tummies, but it also helps bring some extra hydration. So I'm glad you're on top of it with her, but I think you're on the right train here with her. But I'm with you that it is Whitney. Okay. Alishaya's got a picture here of a darling girl, a dog, she said. We adopted her on Saturday, but she goes after the cats. She waits to play with them. Oh, she wants to play with the chihuahuas. Got it. And since they are scared, she grabs them. If she doesn't stop, we're going to have to return her. She doesn't know her name. We are calling her Ray Ray. She is 1.5. My grandson loves her. Her name is Ruby, but she's fine with Ray Ray here. We're pretty close, Alishaya. Ruby is what she's been called in the past, but it's fine. I'm going to ask her to respond to that name. I don't want her to have to go back. I'm going to tune into her through you. I'm going to ask her to focus on your grandson and to stay away from the chihuahuas for a while and the cats, showing her that chasing the cats is a no, never. So the consequence, we need a consequence right now because she's having a hard time with impulse control. If you guys have a crate, I feel like if an incident like this, she needs to go either maybe into the bathroom, where she's set up for a little while, or into a crate for a little while, but let's have a consequence. And so I'm just going to show her that if she forgets her manners, then she's going to be separated from the situation for a while to just have a timeout. So I'm just going to show her, I'm going to show her the bathroom because I'm not sure if you have a crate for her, but if you do, a crate would be okay too. It doesn't have to be long, 10, 15 minutes, but she needs a consequence. She's a good dog. She just hasn't been trained correctly at all. She's been ignored a lot. And yes, she adores your grandson. I really want to see you guys be successful with her. She's darling. All right, you guys, we have done it. I think we are out of time. Let me double check here. Yep, we sure are. Let's see. Gaming, I wanted to answer you really quick. Will Nafisa contact Hassan? Love life question. The answer on that is no. Okay. All righty. We are moving forward. We've definitely talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you guys so very much to be here or for being here. I want to let you know that I'm a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. That's number 1, number 2listen.com. And you can find me over there every single day. And I would love to help you. So that's how it is. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific for Read Me with Katie and Kelly. So definitely come back and join us for another fun show. That's an all reading show as well. And don't forget the cemetery tour this weekend. Follow True Crime Paranormal on YouTube and on Facebook so that you can stay in the loop of what we have going on. It is going to be really fun. Thanks for being here, you guys. Take care of yourselves, please. You have been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.